Blow the whistle.
All right, we had a little technical difficulties. The video was taken down there for a second. So, House, I just wanted to kick us over there so they knew we were at least live. Um, if you can bring that video back up, that played
There
again.
we go.
All right,
Right here.
thank you very much. All right, fans, give us 1 second. Go ahead, House.
You can tell that your style's more like a Picasso artist out there in a match because
I don't paint in between lines. Sometimes
exactly.
That's
and
exactly
what
what
we
you
didn't
get.
go over. And if I didn't go over the lines, it wouldn't be no art to it. Or
Exactly.
we've been saying, I don't know if you guys understand. You set yourself a gold standard. Boom.
Yeah.
This is for my ceiling. This is how good I am. This is how good I want myself. And then I go, I can't make it anymore. I don't want to do it then. That's why I'm waiting to get in the right shape so I can really get close to that gold standard. If I can't do that, I'm not going to do it. And I don't promise to run. I promise one match. I'm preparing for it more than the other match, already. And I'm expecting to be my best, or one of my very best. I expect that. I don't paint in between lines. And if I didn't go over the lines, there wouldn't be no art to it.
We've got we've got an episode here to give you guys for sure. We wish it was under different circumstances, as if you guys know, if you if you're a wrestling fan, if you listen to this podcast, you know what happened. We've lost to ECW legend, hardcore legend, wrestling legend, Terry Sabu Brunk. Passed away this past weekend, man, and it's a shock to the wrestling world. And just it really came out of nowhere. I mean, this man just had his last match, his final match, just a few weeks ago. We had the honor and privilege to interview him, be one of his final interviews in his last days. That is, I mean, it's cool, but it's awful at the same time. I wish it didn't have to be that, but I got my man over here. We talk ECW every single week, every Thursday. That's the voice, Josh Joseph. Man, how you holding up, bro?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Tuesday was rough.
yeah. I know. Yeah, man. It's tough, man. Really, really tough, man. We got our man Kev over here, Kevin Calloway. What's up, man? Thanks for joining us for this episode, bro.
Absolutely. Sabu and his family was very influential in the place where I grew up. Not only grew up like in general, but also grew in the wrestling business and trained in the wrestling business. So I didn't have an intimate relationship with the man Sabu, but he was at a lot of shows, and I know a lot of people who spoke very highly of him and his influence to the business and just the Michigan scene in general.
Yeah. Really, I mean, no easy way to start this podcast, and this is, we hate to have episodes like this, but we do want to do the very best we can to pay homage to the man. Once again, like I said, it was such an honor and a privilege to not only come on this specific podcast, the ECW Watch Along, with my friend, my brother, the voice Josh Joseph, and we come on here every week and we watch these amazing competitors from the mid to late 90s and into 2000, and everything that they did, putting their body on the line for our entertainment in a way that you just wasn't seeing in that time. And Sabu being one of, I mean, the trailblazers, the true trailblazers, innovators of hardcore violence, man. And it's been so cool to watch him on a weekly basis. Right, once again, right here with you, Josh. And it was an even bigger honor when we had the opportunity to welcome him onto the to In Your House, to the ECW Watch Along, and hear the man speak and hear his passion and love for professional wrestling. I remember the look in your eyes, Josh, when he came on camera, and we were able to speak to him and have. I mean, it echoes in my mind him saying, I don't paint inside the lines. If I painted inside the lines, it wouldn't be art. And I was like, man, that really, to me, and everything that I've seen that man do, whether it be ECW, WWE, or any point, he's worked for every promotion. I mean every promotion. That man has done it, and to hear him talk about it, man, it was magic, man. But I know it's hard for you to encapsulate that, man. But if you can, I just wanted to what is I know, but I want the guys out there, the people out there, the house out there to understand what Sabu meant to you as a fan.
Well, he meant the world actually, because he showed you that I'll get it together, guys. Trust me, I will. This is just the first time I really openly spoke, besides text messaging.
Mm.
But yeah, he changed the game. He literally took me from an 80s kid who loved wrestling. It was such a magical time when it was on your screen. Even at the time, and I know the name I'm about to say is just it hurts my mouth to say it, but Hulk Hogan. As a kid, he was just such a mountain of a man, and just like something that you looked up to, a hero, an idol. It was him because we knew nothing of the other stuff. So set all the other stuff aside. And then once I hit a certain age of 13, 12, I get introduced to a Sabu match. And not only a Sabu match, but Terry Funk versus Sabu in a barbed wire match. And I was like,
We
what
just
the
watched that, yeah.
yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Who is this guy? And my cousin kept saying, this is Sabu. This is who we need to be watching. This is who we need to be paying attention to. So then that summer, anything that he did at that time, I consumed. I watched it over and over again. And the dude he made it so real. I believed in what he said in the ring. He wasn't very vocal on a mic. That's what Bill Alfonso and RVD were for. But he showed me that it doesn't matter. If you know that you can do something, and no matter who says you can't, Vince McMahon, Bischoff, all those guys, if they just say, "Oh, you're garbage out here. You're just doing stuff that's going to hurt you." Yeah, it did hurt them. But look how many people said something in just the past days.
So many.
He said to us, I will get the biggest pop when I'm gone. And he's gone. And the last 5 months, from getting to meet him, talk to him, and then get to work with him.
Yeah.
My favorite, the wrestling I love the wrestling. It's amazing. There's matches I've been watching all week. I just watched a WrestlePalooza. I believe it was what I say 98 or 97 in the chat something.
98. It was 98. I think you said.
It's
Yeah.
such a magical WrestlePalooza. Go rewatch it. It's a great one. But the things I'm gonna miss is seeing him laugh at things that he says on his show that nobody gets besides him and the other two on the screen with him. I'm gonna miss that
Yeah.
laugh, man, because it was so genuine. Like, I've met wrestlers that I've talked to him, Buff Bagwell, I've talked to Raven, I've talked to those guys that they've been on a stage, but he made me feel like I was important and that I was Team Sabu. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, man. No, I hear you, man. I know how. Trust me. I know how much he meant to you, and being a part of that, we were, and we are still are, proud of you for being a part of what he was, trying to create with Sabu Speaks. But he saw something in you. He knew it. He saw it. When we talked to him, he saw the fan that you were, and that's why you were in that opportunity, man. And it to me, it's just like being a part of something that somebody that you idolized wants you to be a part of. You
Yeah,
know, it was reminiscent to when I started doing Pope's point of view.
yeah,
When I was watching Pope back in the day, TNA stuff, I was like, man, this guy's got it. He has got it, man. And then later on in life, being able to help produce his podcast for as long as I have, I totally get it. As far as that goes, but man, Sabu was just so special with talking to him, and like even when I was able to go back and forth and text him, one thing, and I've been trying to really encapsulate my relationship with Sabu, and I'm not just talking about what we see on the screen. Amazing wrestler, we all know that, but like when I had interactions with Sabu over text and messaging and whatnot, and then finally getting a chance to talk to him, I I realized that, man, he was something that you don't really see in a lot of people in wrestling, and he just seemed like solid and real and honest, you know? And if he didn't like something, he was going to say he didn't like it. And if he did like something, he likes it. And if he likes you, he's going to stay true to you, Just in a little bit of time that I got a chance to meet him and know him, he seemed like a solid cat, dude. Like, and if you do him right, he's gonna do you right. Pulling back the curtain a little bit here. If it was when you do interviews, a lot of times it's like, especially if it's a name, you throw them some money for that interview. It's the right thing to do for people in the business that can help you elevate your brand if they're coming onto your brand. You throw them something. He said to me, he was like, "Man, I was glad to do your show because you paid me like you said you were going to." And basically insinuated, he's like, "Hey, anytime you need me to do something or want something from me, I trust you." Like, I appreciate the fact that if you do him right, he's gonna do you right. And that's being truly solid, bro. And he just seemed to me, and seeing the outpour of love that he's getting on social media from many different wrestlers, many people that have known him, is that he was truly a solid cat. And I appreciate and respect that, along with everything that he did in the ring. Kevin, you were talking a little bit about everything that he meant to that personal scene there in Michigan. But you're in the business, man. You're an active wrestler, still out there doing your thing. What are you feeling, man? What are you seeing as far as the brothers and sisters in the business, and what in your mind, uh, the legacy that Sabu leaves behind and the impact of him no longer being with us? Where are you at with it when you're kind of seeing everything going on, his impact in the business?
So realistically, in being trained in Michigan, like I mentioned either off screen or on screen, I don't remember which at this point. He was related to the Sheik, and the Sheik was one of the big proprietors of Michigan wrestling, and Sabu came up through that system and through his uncle. So Sabu's legacy across Michigan is going to end up being very profound. Many of the 20-year Michigan veteran workers were absolutely gutted when Sabu passed, because he's been around for so long. He's been on so many of their shows. It'll be the same when, because death comes for all of us at some point when someone like Rhino passes away, because he's huge to the Michigan scene. And Sabu himself, the legacy he ends up leaving, and through ECW and through some of the innovations that he did through hardcore wrestling, realistically, is a lot of the deathmatch wrestlers that are coming out of Michigan today. And the legacy that he leaves behind is people like Chuck Stein, who's traveling the world, going to Japan, doing deathmatch wrestling, and anyone else who's in the scene. And, it's not necessarily a style of wrestling that I particularly want to do, simply because I don't like all the stuff around me, but I appreciate that that's how they're making their money. And that's a huge legacy to leave behind, because none of that would exist without people like Sabu, people like Terry Funk. There's no way that any of that exists. And there's no way that people know how to, work with weapons like that. No way people even thought about working with weapons like that. So they're really, we lost someone who is a true innovator to really I believe he was one of the first people to do a moonsault off of jumping off a chair and onto the ropes. I'm pretty sure that was one of the first people to do it. I don't think that there was another. And if it was, he
was the first person I ever saw do it.
Yeah,
and maybe he was the first one that made it to TV, because sometimes that's a thing. But if he's the one that popularized it, then he gets the credit for it in all of wrestling. That's how it works. It's how any really thing works. So you've got a guy who's doing these things in ways that people have never seen it on a grand scale, on a grand stage. You're going to leave so many people and so many impressions, like voice, like I mentioned earlier, Chuck Stein. Shout out to Chuck Stein, someone I've worked with a lot around here. And a lot of other guys, you got Tommy Vendetta, who's coming out of Michigan and doing a bunch of deathmatch things. We wouldn't have that without Sabu. It all links back to that. And to see how many lives it touched, because I saw the outpouring. I immediately saw it when it was reported, and I was talking to Annie about it. But independent of me seeing it, I saw almost every Detroit wrestler that I know post something like, "This can't be true. Oh no, that we've lost so much."
Yeah.
Because we did. But to see all that outpouring of "Oh my God, no, he's one of the best," that's huge. Voice, you mentioned that he said he would go out with a big pop. This is the big pop. Not only was which we're about to get to, the last match that he ever wrestled, likely a big pop.
Yes.
But the big pop is another outpouring of love from everyone he touched, from all of the places he worked, from all of the people who were there. That's part of that big pop. And looking at it as a performer, it's about what you're leaving behind, and what he's leaving behind is an absolute legacy and a bunch of people that he's influenced, whether he knew them or not. And that's how his influence is going to play on the business for decades to come.
Yeah. I mean, just when I went on social media after, letting the dust settle a little bit and everything, so many people posting pictures with him, having interactions with him. I'm like, man, he affected so many people along the way. And like you said, Kevin, we're about to sit down and kudos to you for finding Sabu's final match on YouTube. They put it out there for public consumption, which is great, and we're gonna watch it here in a little bit.
They knew we were gonna go live, and they posted it today.
Yeah,
perfect.
They did. They posted it 3 days ago. I found it.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. But Man, we're about to watch this match here in a little bit. Sabu, I mean, so accomplished in his career. He's a former ECW World Heavyweight Champion 2 times, NWA World Heavyweight Champion, also World Television Champion, ECW World Tag Team Champion 3 times, and the effect that he had on the business overall. I guess, Voice. I just want to ask you, as I know your moments with him have really been like getting to know him outside of wrestling. But for the household out there, what are some of your favorite in ring moments from Sabu?
Ah, well, my all-time favorite is the stretcher RVD incident. Me and you have
No, we
talked
watched
about it.
it.
We
Yeah,
watched it.
yeah,
We
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 sure
talked
did.
about it with him. I mean,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
and it was funny to hear him saying that him and RVD were pretty much like they were trying to make the other one break,
yeah. They're
and that's
rubbing
why
each
they
other, bro.
weren't
That's
staying on
that's
the
very
stretcher.
common. You know, fun fact, at one point I made it my whole mission in matches to try and break my opponent. And that's incredibly common between friends and workers who are calling things on the fly. It's great. You can pick it
You're
out sometimes.
Yeah, and, I actually really liked hearing him talk about, um, him and Taz's first match, and when he was talking to us about that house, it kinda
Mhm.
really to me, that took away the monster, uh, veil of him
Yeah,
in what we were
yeah,
supposed to see, because remember when he was talking about it, he said he was the big guy. Taz was
yeah,
coming in just to get squashed pretty much. Do a match,
yeah,
let Sabu do what he does. Sabu didn't do that. He said, "Let's do something different." And like he told us, that right there was the start of what we fell in love with ECW, because they went through an auditorium tearing up chairs for what do you say? Like there was maybe 75 people there. There wasn't a bunch of people.
yeah,
And they just tore down the house, and it just had to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they did that. The uh, triple jump, leg drop to the outside onto a table. I just rewatched
yeah.
when he did it to Lita after Bill Alfonso super kicked the hell out of Lita and then accidentally came down and face stomped her like he was Seth freaking Rollins. And right after that, she had to take a leg drop from Sabu. Um, none of I my favorite moments were him getting pissed off at Taz for a fake title that Taz made, and then us finding out that it was an inside joke, and he was making fun of Taz about it. Um, those things, like, the they say never meet your heroes, and that may be true. I mean, you can never say that that's not true. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people Keith or Sutherland didn't really like talking to me. Maybe it was because I was pissing next to him to a urinal and I said a Boys quote to him. Maybe that's why he didn't like that. But I don't want to think that. I want to think, I'm a fan of you. That's why I said this quote. But I'm privileged to say I got to meet my hero and I got to tell him how much he meant to me. And I got to relive a lot of moments because of you, House. That was all you. That wasn't me. I was just a fan. Um, and I know some people out there may think, how could he be this emotional? But, in this short amount of time we have on life, when you meet somebody that you connect with and that you admired before that, and you just seen them on TV and they were a larger than life uh, figure, and then you meet them and they're one of the coolest human beings you could ever talk to, and he really liked what we did so much that he gave us extra
Yeah,
time. Think
yeah.
about
He sure did.
we got we got extra time out of a guy who only had 5 months, whatever plan was set out. he gave us extra on top of what we agreed to. He said, "You guys, I like what you're doing. I like how you not only love what he did, but loved what he does as a whole, wrestling as a whole." Um, you know, a lot of Sabu matches after some physical encounters with my father when I was young, I would watch a Sabu match. I would pop in an ECW tape and I would watch it, and it would help me escape what I was going through. And you know, I don't know how fucked up this is, but you know, we all know I'm a pretty fucked up human being with the brain. But you know, some of that stuff, you know, that went on in my childhood, there was a lot of times, you know, you kind of after dust settles and everything, you know, that was kind of like what Terry Funk did to Sabu with a with a barbed wire, without the barbed wire. You know, I guess in my imagination, I try to escape it with what I've seen him do and put himself through, and kind of, you know, I mean, I've talked about it. I tried to be a wrestler. I wanted to be. I built a ring in a barn. I had friends over. We packed that barn every Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday night in the summer. 30, 60 people sometimes. You never knew who was going to show up. And a lot of my style, a lot of what I took in there was emulated off of him. I mean, we went to Walmart, found the attire, you know, come out there. I've been through thumbtacks. I've been through tables. I've never been set on fire or been with barbed wire, but, you know, it's just, it's amazing to meet people who changed the young you into what becomes you today.
Well, well said. That was really well said, man. You know, that portion there, I don't think there's any better way to kind of segue from that. No, and there's never an easy way to segue when it comes to conversations like this. But I want to continue to honor the man, Sabu, by watching his final match. That's exactly what we're about to do here.
Can I add one thing just off
Ken,
this
thank you.
comment right before? That's my father.
Please go right ahead.
My
Yeah.
father, and I'm not confident to say that they saw Sabu live, but I'm pretty sure they did, because my father and my grandfather used to go watch the Sheik. And if they went to go watch the Sheik, they likely, even if he wasn't called Sabu at the time, they probably saw some of Sabu's first matches.
Wow.
And that just reminded me of that when he commented. Thank you, Dad. And I don't know if he wrestled under Sabu when you saw him, but I know he was around at the time too. So that's a personal connection I kind of forgot about. And nice to honor my grandfather's memory thinking about that, because I remember him talking about the Sheik all the day. He's like, "Oh, the Sheik. We always used to go see the Sheik, and it's awesome."
Yeah.
The Sheik was amazing. And to continue that, Kevin, Ken, there is a Dark Side of the Ring that just released about the Sheik. Fantastic. I watched it twice. I was supposed to be working, but you know, sometimes you put things off in the background. But it's a fantastic thing. Like, I didn't realize, I mean, I knew the impact he had on the Detroit area, but to hear the stories of him, like when he brought in Bobo
Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Bobo got over on him.
Yep.
That was the Sheik trying to calm racial tensions because of some shit that happened in the town. And that was his way to calm everybody down, because the wrestling, real quick, the wrestling is so amazing that it was one of the first forms of entertainment that had interracial crowds, people.
Yep.
It was one of the first forms that, yes, were they segregated? Yes. But guess what? The Sheik, guess what he did? He went up to where they put chicken wire up to segregate blacks and whites. He went up there and tore it down and told them to come down and see him, because it wasn't, the Sheik was such a, We could do a whole
We
different.
could do a whole different
Yeah.
episode on the
I'm
sheet.
sorry. He was such an
Yeah.
amazing dude.
Yeah.
And Ken answered.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
likely.
And that makes sense to me.
Man.
Yeah. This, like I said, man, when our interaction with him, that was so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like to hear him talk about everything, his career, and then mainly to see you voice. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the connection that you have with him, so that always has a special place in my heart because we was able to make that happen and be one. And he was he was we were the first podcast that he did where he was like, you know what, I really didn't like NXT 2300, and here's why. You know, and because we're not that type of podcast where we're super like clickbaity and stuff like that, somebody else ended up getting the header, but it was said first here, that he explained why. It's just the moments that you have with somebody. And like you said, I want to go back real quick to when you said he gave us that extra time. He went over the allotted time that we had agreed to because he liked what we were doing. And I think it's you, Voice, that said that like time is like our most important and precious resource. If you're giving somebody your time, that means you really truly care, and we were privileged to get extra time with somebody who wasn't long for this world at that time. We had no idea.
No, dude, you guys don't even understand the plans that his show had coming up.
Yeah.
Dude, I was going to get to witness a real life Joey and Sabu like battle, like Joey going in on Sabu on camera.
Off.
Like, but things happen. It's like my grandpa, he's not an originator of this saying, but I've heard it before, but he used to always say it. You why don't you go tell God that you got a plan? Because if you believe in him, like he's the one making all the plans for everything, setting out all the paths, and hey, let me tell you, I got the plan, man. So this was a lot of therapy, I guess. Thank you all for bearing with me through the tears and stuff.
Absolutely.
But like the dude just impacted me on so many levels in this world.
Yeah.
And it was cool. And he was definitely something different than what he portrayed out there that we fell in love with. And the actual Terry is just an amazing human being.
Chill, bro. So chill, bro. He invited us out to Vegas to come kick it with him, bro.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Like
he wanted us to document him and like just follow him around.
Yeah, that would have been sweet, man. Now I wish I would have took him up on it for real. I didn't realize. I thought we would have had more opportunities, but you never really know, man. You never really know. But like I said, I want to watch this match. I haven't got a chance to watch this match.
I haven't either, so I'm excited for it too.
Very excited because I've literally avoided watching this match until now because I wanted to do it with you guys, Kev, Voice. I want to do it with you guys for Sabu here on the ECW Watch Along. So if one of you guys, I don't care who, can maybe let the household out there that's viewing, let them know where on YouTube they can catch it at, and then we'll go ahead and get it started.
All right.
Can I post this in something? I got the link. Do I post it here? Where should I post it? What should I do?
Is there a comment section on your end?
Yeah, it says comments. Throw it in there.
You could throw it in there. People will be able to.
All right.
I believe
to check it out.
I think.
Yes, and Ken is letting us know it was Bobo Brazil.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was okay. This is at the Pro Wrestling Collection on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Collection. I'm trying to get the. It's not. Let me put the link in here. It doesn't look like I can comment onto this.
Okay, give me a second. Let me see if I can.
If you have it, I can send it to you here in the private chat, though.
Yeah, go ahead and do that, and then I'll get it all.
There we
linked
go.
up. Okay. Let's see what Kevin's got here.
We're getting that sent out for you guys. Once again, Pro Wrestling Collection. So follow that link once they drop it in there. This is going to be Sabu's final match. It is a no roped barbed wire match against Joey Janela. This was at GCW Spring Break 9, Joey Janela's Spring Break 9. This was from April 18th. April 18th. So not even a full month ago. We've got it linked there now in the comments there. So you guys can check it out and watch it with us. Once again, this will be the first time I'm watching it. Kev, this will be the first time he's watching it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many times Voice has watched it, but I'm sure he doesn't have an issue watching it again if he's watched it a few times.
I've seen a bootleg version of it. I haven't seen this actual.
Oh, so you're getting actual cam footage of it?
Yeah,
this time.
I watched a fan's cam of it. I had to.
Yeah.
Sure, I totally understand, bro. Totally understand, bro. But I want to watch it with you guys. If you guys are ready to go, we all good here?
Oh yeah.
Go.
Let's get to it then. All right. 3, 2, 1, 0. This is exactly where I was going to start it out at Trailer 2. This awesome video pack.
Yeah.
I would imagine they made this tribute because it was his retirement match.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it ended up being an excellent tribute elsewise as well.
Ooh.
Right off the Raw sign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
FMW, man.
I forgot about that flipping leg drop over the top too.
Yeah, that one was gnarly.
That man can fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's so crazy, House, how when we talked to him, he was said that all his hardcore stuff, that was his like throwaway stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he
crazy.
actually loved wrestling and telling the story of that. The hardcore stuff was just what got him over. That's what made him.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many wrestlers end up doing that. It's just like one of their hardcore actions took hold at one point, and that's what they became known for. But really, their love for wrestling was there before, having barbed wire stuck in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe famously Mick Foley talked about that too.
Mick did?
Yep. Where he just had a love for wrestling, but he got over with the car crash.
Yep.
It's crazy to think guys like Sabu, Foley, Sandman, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen them actually like put on great wrestling matches. I mean, go back and watch old Sandman stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The dude could wrestle, and he was really good at it. But then they get over, like, once he figured out swinging a Singaporean cane was way more effective, and he didn't have to work that much at it. It was like, he put it on cruise control, and that's what he's getting at.
Oh yeah, because there's at that point, unless you want to reinvent yourself and stay within a different parameter or anything along that lines, like that's a fantastic way to continue making money.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the flex right there in wrestling. So many people have told me the goal is to get paid the most to do the least amount of work.
Bingo. You know what? When I was starting to take bookings and do more shows, at some point I took a bump and I went, "Wow, these silly bumps suck. How can I do less of them?"
Yep, man, brilliant. Yes,
and that was
sir.
like a year and a half deep. I took a rough one, and I'm like, you know what? I could bump less. And I set out to do as little bumping as possible and get the most out of them.
There you go. Smart man. Smart man. Joey Janela out here awaiting Sabu.
Very throwback looking Joey Janela.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, look at that barbed wire.
They needed the title card to
Somebody
tell
better
me
get
that
hurt.
was Joey Janela because I'm not used to seeing him like that.
Oh, I love the venue.
Yeah, it's the Palms. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys ever hear the Kurt Angle story of him and Sabu when Sabu came to WWE?
I did not know.
I guess Angle pulled Sabu aside and was like, "Hey."
Oh, we got pissed at him. He was like, "Hey,
No.
we're not wrestling." He's like, "I'm a wrestler."
No, he goes,
Is it a different
"Hey,
one?
no." He said, "Hey, I'm the guy who does all the wild stunts around here," and Sabu was like, "Oh yeah, cool," and then he walked away.
That's one of those. I don't know if you guys have seen How I Met Your Mother, but the "Oh honey" moments.
Yeah.
Honey, sweetie baby.
I just picture Kurt Angle walking up to Sabu and just be like, "Hey, I do all the crazy stuff around here. I know maybe in ECW that might have been your thing, but here, that's my thing." Okay, buddy.
Sabu.
I would argue it wasn't even Angle's thing. It was Shane McMahon's thing.
Yeah. Well,
He'd show up, take a car battery to the testicle, and then leave.
that is a valid point.
Look at Sabu, man.
I love that all white.
He came out fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him, man. He's man.
Definitely a different type of animated. This is not like him joking around with the fans and shit. That's not something he normally does. Nope.
Uh-oh. Oh, here we go.
Joey just looks like he stinks right there. Like there's just some odor that is coming off.
He's smelling. He caught a foul stench of garbage a second ago.
That's kind of all I got from that moment right there.
Dear God. Oh, man.
When have you ever seen Sabu wrestle in Jordans?
I know, right? He came out fresh, bro. He came out fresh, bro.
I'm ready for it looks like Sabu is just fucking with him.
Yeah, it does too.
Yeah.
I'm ready for one of them to break. Joey does look like he's in good shape for this match. I've seen him at way worse.
Yeah.
Kudos to him.
Yeah.
And Sabu and his trainer, they were actually like talking about how well Sabu was getting back into shape and the routine of everything. I know that there was talks about him, his legs were locked up and things like that.
Yeah.
Before the match.
I could see it, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, he just from what I can remember the week before, he was in Michigan with his family the week before
Yeah.
this, came back home, and then did some more training up until I think Wednesday, and then
Mhm.
got with the team.
Oh, good start. I like the start. I like the start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got to be the heel.
Yeah.
Yep. And no other way around it.
Yeah, there's no other spot for Joey to go but heel.
Okay, so I know it's gonna get more brutal after this, but I could tell Janela was pulling his stomps
Yeah. Yeah.
because he was afraid to hurt Sabu early, and I get that.
Yeah,
Totally. Yeah.
fans understand
Ooh,
this.
he
That
did.
man is 60 years old
Yep.
doing this.
All right, come on, Sabu.
Ooh.
Nope. Oh, nobody home. Look. Oh, well, hold on. Wait a minute.
You were saying that his legs were locking up. I don't know if he's selling
Yeah.
that or not, but
Yeah.
I could kind of tell as he's walking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestlers' knees get bad after a while, a lot. So at 60 years old and like a 30, 40-year wrestling career, I would
Yeah.
imagine his knees are pretty banged up.
Oh, I'm sure.
He looks like he's in really good shape, though. I've seen him between the in the suit coat.
Yeah, he was legit working on this for weeks.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Saved by the
pressing.
suit coat. Saved by the suit coat. See, that's why you wear shirts in a barbed wire. That's just strategy.
I think he learned that from the Born to Be Wired match.
Right. Yeah, man. My God. Oh.
There you go.
Playing to the crowd a little bit.
Joey's just he's playing the heel very well right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see him
On the
being
face.
easy on Sabu in certain aspects,
Yeah.
but
And-
still,
And you can tell Sabu's not having it because
Yeah.
he's not selling
Yeah.
some of the punches.
exactly.
That was
That's,
like, don't go easy on me.
That's big with the vets. If you don't lay some of the things in so that they can feel it, they won't sell it.
Yeah.
And I would
Yep.
imagine Sabu is one of those vets.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Good God.
Uh-oh. What you got, Sabu?
Oh,
Oh no!
there it is.
Spike him.
Good God. We got a spike
Oh.
how many minutes deep? 5 minutes deep?
You already spiking?
Oh, shit.
I heard the whistle. Yes. Yeah. Bill. It was Sabu. Oh my God. Oh, I've seen that many times before. Let's go. Nope.
Jesus.
Yo. Come on.
He's going. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, he's going. Oh my God.
oh.
Oh. Holy hell. Oh
Why
my
does
God,
that
look at
ref
Joey
not
Janela.
have
Oh, he's
gloves
covered.
on?
I don't know.
Are you
Oh,
insane,
right.
woman?
Right. Oh, the replay.
And if you watch,
Yeah,
Sabu
where
kind
are
of
those gloves at?
snaps at her when she tugs on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Because he probably wants it on him for the visual.
Yeah.
That busted open his eye too.
Yeah, I see it.
Sabu.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
shock me. That was a lot of barbed wire to fall into.
Oh yeah, it's still on him.
Oh,
Oh
and he
my
just ripped it out
God.
of his hair.
Dear God.
Ooh,
Oh, that was tough. Oh my God.
damn.
I can't stress enough, we're only 14 minutes into a 29-minute video. So if you think that was the peak.
Yeah, that is no sir. Oh, we got a board.
Fans, if you're with us, I know for a fact that this next part might be hard to take, so this would be your trigger warning.
Good God.
Oh, yo, son. Yo. What? Hey.
Oh, and it's around his ear. Oh.
Yo,
Mm.
I don't even.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, that's a
he's
lot of
leaking,
blood.
bro. Oh,
Yeah,
That's a lot of blood.
he's leaking, bro.
Oh.
Oh,
Right onto
God.
the back of the head.
Yeah.
Barbed wire just
Yeah,
dragging.
dog.
My assumption is that it busted open the back of his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
in the
shit.
ring. Oh, it's Attic.
I did
He's
not
the
have
Hogan.
the Koger
Oh, yeah, the
brothers
Kogers,
on my bingo card here.
Well, they showed up and they're ready to do some damage. Whoa, whoa.
Shaving Bill Alfonso.
What are you doing?
What's happening? What
He's just fucking shivving Bill Alfonso.
Oh,
What confuses me the most about that shivving moment is that Bill Alfonso's shirt is not ripped.
yeah. That's a good point.
Uh-oh, what's going on?
Oh,
This is going to be some ECW shit. I can't hear the music, but I'm assuming someone like Sandman.
Hell no.
Oh, I hear Enter
There he is.
Sandman. So, yes.
and they say that this is the exact moment when Sabu woke up.
Oh,
I
yeah?
thought I read. Yeah, I thought I read something like that.
Was he concussed or did he get knocked out?
I don't know, because it's a lot of people just saying things. So to take
Sure.
it, I mean, people are
Right,
running
right.
It looked
wild
like he
with
was
this.
still moving around, but I don't think
Yeah.
it looked like he was knocked out, but it might have been when he started remembering something
Yeah.
because that happens.
There he is.
You gotta love this dude.
Why wrestle when you can chug a beer and swing a kendo stick?
Why?
Listen,
Bagged.
I wish I could make the money like that, and I'm a worker who wrestles.
Man.
Fuck
House.
you.
Man.
Why do an interview with a group of guys who love you when you could just show up in the interview, threaten to beat one of their kids with a
Exactly.
kendo stick, and make a moment of it?
He hit my kid with his kendo stick, not hard, but still was hilarious. and my son was like, "Man, I will always." It's really cool because he was like, "I'll always remember that moment where Sandman hit me with his kendo stick, and now I'll always show love to kendo sticks. If you people say those don't hurt, they're a liar." And I'm like, "That's my boy. That is my boy."
Kendo sticks suck. They suck. I did kendo stick like battles with a couple people.
Really?
Nope. They had kendo sticks around here. We had 2 kendo sticks. And we'd swing them like swords. And they suck because you got to lay them in to get the noise. And because you got to lay them in, you're getting whipped by them. It's even worse if they fray. Jesus Christ.
Joey's
He's got the skewers in him. Sandman's meandering to the ring as Joey Janela is getting live murdered.
Sandman
Oh my
Kill him,
God.
bro. Take
This
it
is this is some bloodline rules fucking match, and I am here for it.
Yeah, me too, man.
Bring out everybody. Fuck
Look at
yes.
him.
He's already grabbed one fan
at
and
it, look
dumped
at
a beer down their throat.
There's
That man
Sabu.
just chilling. You know, this reminds me of the time. This reminds me of the time I think it was on AEW when Matt Hardy was getting his ass beat in the ring, and then Jeff came down and
Jeff
did his
Hardy
dance
danced
first
down?
before.
Sandman's just
He's like,
fucking going to all the fans as the Coger brothers are killing time.
He's still in the second
what?
level of this arena.
You know what? The worst part
supposed to
about
be
this.
over.
So this is something that's happened to me before, where a bunch
Really?
of the shit is happening on the outside, and you're doing something dangerous in the ring. They're literally skewering this man and hitting him with barbed wire shit, like beating his body up, and nobody cares because they're busy drinking beers with fucking Sandman.
Exactly. Sandman, dude.
So they're wasting all their effort in the ring and
At
just murdering themselves.
At this point, you have to charge him ticket prices. I mean, he's seen enough of the show. He hasn't participated enough.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of just want Sandman to walk
I'm
back out of the
trying to think,
arena
like, is he
and
lost?
not go down there.
Yeah, not even go to the ring.
Go to the ring.
Just out.
He was just making a personal appearance.
He's just like, hey, what's up, guys? Drink a beer with Sandman.
That's fantastic.
Where is he at now? There he is. Okay.
He found
Like,
it.
where's
Down
Ottawa
to the
think he's
main
gonna
floor.
find
Found his way through the mezzanine. He's here.
All right.
He's got his kendo
Sandman.
stick. Sandman needed to find the side of the ring without the barbed wire on it
He
now.
still looks
Look at him,
lost,
he's
if
lost
you ask
now.
me.
He does look very lost.
He's like, what the, is this a wrestling match?
That is
Oh,
one
I see.
crazy old
My
move,
beer
man.
drinking party seems to have a wrestling match in it.
Who are these two young fellas? They seem to want
It's
to.
like, hey,
I should turn my back to them.
look at this questionable use.
That is fantastic.
This is the
Questionable
right
use.
amount of ridiculous for a retirement match.
Yeah, for sure, man. Look at him. Look at him.
He still looks fucking lost.
He's killing me.
Retirement
What the
home
hell,
Sandman
Sandman?
is gonna be a fun guy.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yes. Oh my God.
No, that chant just brings so many memories.
Just one arm swings. Not even two hands. Can't be bothered.
I
Doesn't even look. There's no look swings.
Oh,
am dying. That man is
geez.
killing me,
This
bro.
is my new favorite part of the match.
Yes.
And it's
Yes,
so
that man is
crazy.
killing me, dude.
When we seen him at Scott's thing, he was actually like doing little jumps backstage when it was his time
Yeah.
to come out. He was like stretching. I don't think he did on this one. He's like, I know what to do.
I got it.
He understood the assignment.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, and he took a bump. Oh,
Oh shit!
Hold on, here we go.
Oh,
We do have a match. Oh, shit. Oh!
Sandman's personal appearance was abruptly interrupted by a match.
Yeah.
Oh, is his back opened up?
God.
yeah. He got some pretty big.
Oh yeah.
that's
Oh my God.
gash in his back.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there was a lot of people
Ooh, that's
concerned
nasty.
on his show that were in the comments asking about it.
Yeah.
Those weren't as bad as they looked, as he said. But
Yeah.
Dirty Dick also said you had fucking holes in your back. So
Mhm.
I don't know what to really go with on
Yeah,
that one.
It was probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Were there holes in his back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Were they as bad a holes as we as like normal people think? Probably not.
Yeah.
Hardcore and
what you got?
deathmatch wrestlers are built different, though. I've seen them sliced up, and they're like, "Oh, that's not bad." Oh,
Oh!
He told the crowd to shush so he could shake his hand, and then he just chucked his ass in to barbed wire.
Oh, he about to die. He's
Oh
about
my
to
God.
die.
Oh.
He might die. All right. Do we know that Joey Janela is still alive after all this?
Yes. Yes, he
Right.
is.
My
He's
God.
still
Okay, all right.
alive. He's been defending himself on social media for a good solid week now.
Is there proof? Because that could be anyone on a social media.
That okay, fair point. Fair point.
Oh, I'm trying to see what happens next here. We go. Oh, what you got next?
I know this is such a different like
No.
He's like, I'm not going. What the hell?
He's like, I already done enough.
He just ate that punch and he's trying to shake his hand.
Oh,
Oh.
Joey wasn't falling for it that time.
Didn't fall for it a second time.
Now they're trying to go back and forth here.
Oh, God.
Oh boy. He's like, hey, let's have a war. Oh.
Janela just yeets it at him.
He throws it back at him.
No sells it. He's just
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Oh,
Oh.
Give me the dick.
Oh.
We swear it's
Oh.
there. I'm hearing the commentators. Deep down, they have a lot of respect for each other. I swear it's there.
I swear it's there. Yeah.
I think he told Joey to fucking lay one of those chair shots into him.
Probably.
Oh.
That probably hurt his arm because that chair was up too.
Yeah.
He sold the hell out of that for him.
He did. There's a nice spike bump.
Whew.
This is one of the damnedest matches from bell to bell that I've ever
What a
seen.
retirement match.
Yeah. Yeah. Crowd loves it.
Like, I didn't expect to get, 1990 Sabu, but we got the greatest hits
Right.
of Sabu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's all.
Oh.
Some would say the fact that he even showed up is enough for them.
Yeah.
Joey being one of them. He was just happy Sabu showed up.
There it is.
He got it.
I
Wow.
think I don't know if this video has it. I haven't seen it, but if they show it, Joey gives Sabu his Hall of Fame award that he never showed up for last year.
I saw that video. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like there's 3 minutes left. I bet they do it. I bet we see it.
You think that's what's about to happen?
Probably.
Damn, what a match.
Yeah. I mean, again,
that was a wild match. That match reminds me, minus the Sandman personal appearance, it reminds me of the same basic structure of Mankind and Taker Hell in a Cell. It was just like a bunch of wild things happened. Like, it wasn't a lot of things, but enough gruesome things happened in a row. And then they had time to breathe.
Yep.
even Fonzie took a fucking bump.
Yep.
He did. He did.
Fonzie took a shivving.
That he did.
Can't remember. Did Janela have that tooth before this match began?
No, I don't believe so, but
All right.
yeah, because I think in the promo picture, you can see he's missing it.
There's the Hall of Fame award.
Yep.
This is a good tribute.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It was gruesome. It was wild.
It was
Ooh.
Sabu, man.
It was Sabu. It was homicidal. It was suicidal. It was genocidal.
Yes, it was.
That it was,
It
man.
was fantastic.
Oh, that was a fun watch.
That was
a
a fun watch. That was really fun watch.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was a blast, man. Kevin, do you have any final thoughts, man?
Man, that match was everything. Okay, all right. My final thoughts for that match is, and I'll try and surmise it into one sentence because that was a lot. That was quintessential.
Yeah.
That was quintessential ECW television.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
True, man. Like
It is.
it was fun, man. It was a fun watch. Like Voice said, we got a chance to see a lot of his, his greatest hits. We got a chance to see Bill Alfonso come out there. Sandman being lost. That was hilarious.
Sandman with a 6-minute personal appearance as Joey Janela gets stabbed to death in the ring.
Exactly. Like
Sandman's just looking at it like, you know what? This guy could use a beer. That guy could use a beer. Yeah, fuck that guy in the ring. Let him get stabbed. Yeah. I'll get there. And then he gets there and it's just one arm swinging a cane.
Man,
not even dual wielding.
I love
not even two-handed. Nope. That boy.
This one, just bam, bam.
The drunk uncle at a t-ball game, just beer in one hand.
Oh my god, 100%. Perfectly encapsulated. Perfectly, man. Oh, what a match. That was fun. It was a blast to watch. But Voice, you, man, I got to get your final thoughts now that you got a chance to see, actual footage of the final match.
Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, it was a proper send off. Joey, perfect last opponent for Sabu, knowing their history and things like that. Yeah, that was definitely like Kevin said, that was ECW. That's what you got. Yeah. Yes, was it back in the day? Was it done a little more perfected? Things were a little more crisp. Yes, but that was ECW though. I mean, not only did we have 60-year-old Sabu flying out of the ring, we had however the fuck old Bill Alfonso is taking going into some barbed wire himself,
and getting prison shift. I can't stress enough that man got prison shift by his Coger.
So I mean, we got Bill Alfonso street cred out of this match. So it's a very important match. If you're a Sabu fan, I would say watch it. Don't listen to the critics. All those guys out there, you've seen a lot of them this past week just trying to get people engaged with their stuff. Nobody's out there talking real facts right now. There's plenty of people though inside his circle that are talking facts. Go out there, find those people talking. I loved it. I loved the fact also the storyline was finished with Joey and him because Joey was so pissed off last year because he didn't show up to get that
Yeah.
award, and Joey was supposed to induct
Yeah.
him, and I think that's when they were supposed to have the match. And Sabu, just like we've learned through his whole entire career, you're not going to tell him what to do. So those people out there who are saying GCW forced him into this match, you're a bold-faced liar who is just trying to get people clicking on your stuff, because they did not.
Clickbait. We don't do that here.
Exactly. Sabu has never done something that someone else has told him. Do you know how many of the wrestlers think he could have been one of the biggest superstars, but because he did things and they said in the eyes that he was because his uncle did things, because he was the Sheik, he was that mountain of a figure. Sabu kind of assumed that that was going to be granted him in some of the things that he chose. And that's coming from Al Snow, a lot of other guys who worked with him way back then. So I love how he went out. He went out like Sabu.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell
Yeah.
him when he's going out. You're not going to tell him when his last match is. And even when we were talking to him, House, he said this probably wasn't going to be his last match. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who knows? All I know is we have a catalog of an artist that
Yes.
inspired so many, and that's what we can take some solace in, with some solitude in, with the fact that we know, if you know Sabu, you know he's with Genie right now. He's with Super Genie.
And he's
Chris
super happy.
Candido is talking to him. Eddie Guerrero is probably having a match with him right now. So he's up there or wherever. His physical body is no longer here, but his energy is still around us. It's still alive. I have his very last figure right there. It doesn't leave my studio.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved what the dude did.
Magic. Like I said, hardcore legend, wrestling legend. We got our man the Lou in here. Rest in peace, Sabu. Yeah, man. It's a tough loss for the wrestling community in a major way. It was a tough loss for I'm thinking it like Dirty Dick. I'm thinking about him. He was one of the first people out there. It was you and then him. You know what I'm saying? As far as like people who I thought about, I was like that I know that's super close to him. You know what I'm saying? That was like, oh man, because everything that you was telling me, bro, all the plans that you was having to, because you're somebody that once you see a vision of something, you get determined to bring that to life. You've done it
Oh, yeah.
within your house, you do it with your own stuff, and you were determined to do that with Sabu Speaks, man. So, I know that like how it impacted you. And anybody out there in the household, that listens to us, that was a huge Sabu fan, and it seemed like we had some in the chat here. And it's just crazy to think that you could be texting. Like I made sure when it was his birthday, I texted him happy birthday, and he was appreciative of that, and it just knowing the man, knowing like you said the figure that man was larger than life. I mean, you would legitimately think this was a wild madman, a complete psychopath. Everything that he says that he is, suicidal, genocidal, homicidal, all that, he was that. But then the man, to figure out that he was just this really chill dude that just knows how to really turn it the fuck on, man. Like, uh, that's you can't put a price on that, bro. You can't put a price
No.
on that. And I take it as a personal privilege, like an honor to myself to be able to link you voice with him before he left. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? That's a big like that. That's a lot for me, bro. I'm happy I was able to do that to where we could have those moments, man. So, um, like I mean, if there's anything you guys want to get out before we slide out of here, because like it's just with the episode like this, it's hard to want to do all the plug-in and whatnot. We'll save
Yeah.
that for when we do our Sunday show and everything else. It just doesn't feel right to do the plug-in. If you guys have any last thoughts, final thoughts as far as Sabu as a whole, now is your time, Kevin. I'll go ahead and let you start, bro.
Again, like I stated earlier, for his influence on everything, his legacy lives on through so many others who are already going out and innovating more, quite frankly, more violent ways to do things. And I know if Sabu were still around, he'd be game to take him based on that last match. So his legacy will live on. And I think I'm going to search through some of my Facebook friends for some of the vets I was talking about, because a lot of them posted pictures with them. And I know for a fact, XICW, which is one of the longest running promotions here now, 25 years.
Yes.
The DBA, who we interviewed quite recently this year, I believe.
It was, yes.
He has a picture on his where he was facing Sabu at their first ever Best in Detroit. So I'll see what pictures I can dig up from some of those. And I know he has footage too. So I'm going to see what I can dig up and see what I can find. And I'll share it with the class.
Yes, that would be awesome. That would be absolutely. I'd love to see that for sure. But Voice, I know it's hard to put into words. I know we kind of, this is kind of what we've done, right? Is put into words. But any final thoughts before we slide out of here, bro?
Yeah, I would just like to say, you never know when the ride ends. Always, if you have the ability, let someone know you appreciate them if you appreciate them. You never know where that journey is going to take you. It might mend a fence. It might build a new relationship. It might close a chapter in your life. But I think as we move forward, because on my way picking up my kids and things like that, coming home, it was like 20 minutes before this show, I'm looking up into clouds, and maybe it's just my mind that is like trying to draw things, signs and shit, but there was a cloud that looked like it did the Sabu sign. It came from this big cloud, just came up, and at the very tip of it there was another cloud that made as if that finger was pointing. I don't know. My cousin that introduced me to this monster of a man known as Sabu, he passed years ago. And we don't get many like cardinals and things like that. And that was like his favorite bird. And every springtime, man, there's at least a group of cardinals hanging out one of my windows. His mom says the same stuff. Cardinals aren't really around her area, so find whatever makes your heart heal. These are moments that suck, but we were given a life. He gave everything for us anytime that bell rang. And I know personally on those shows every Tuesday, he gave what he could inside there. There's a lot of knowledge in there, people. If you want to go out there and find out, go rewatch some of those episodes of Sabu Speaks, because he did speak. And Sabu spoke very well when it came to knowledge, appreciating people, and from my understanding, letting people know that he loves them. Like, the dude loved people. And if you were a friend of his, you're a friend of mine. And like he said to us, House, fuck Tommy Dreamer.
That is what he said. That is what he said, man. Sabu, man, what a legend. What a great opportunity. Friend of the show in your house. Rest in peace to Terry Brunk. Sabu. We'll play the outro video, his tribute video, one more time. We'll see you guys on the flip side. We'll be back here on tomorrow. Grundmeister will be back here. He'll be doing a SmackDown review, but let's go ahead and get that playing and slide on out of here. You guys have a great day.
Yeah, and you can tell that your style's more like a a Picasso artist out there in a
Yeah,
match because
like
Yeah.
I don't paint in between the lines. Sometimes
Exactly.
I go,
That's exactly. That's
and
that's
exactly
what
if I
we
didn't
yeah.
go over, and if I didn't go over the lines, it wouldn't be no art to it. Or
Exactly.
we've been saying this. I don't know if you guys understand. You set yourself a gold standard. Boom.
Yeah.
This is where my ceiling is. This is how good I am. This is how good I want myself. And then I go, I can't make it no more. I don't want to do it then. That's why I'm waiting to get in the right shape so I can really get close to that gold standard again. If I can't do that, I'm not going to do it. And I don't promise a run. I promise one match. I'm preparing for it more than the other match, already. And I'm expecting to be my best, or one of my very best. I expect that. I don't paint in between lines. And if I didn't go over the lines, it wouldn't be no art to it.